Good evening, fellow conlayers. This is a little film to explain how I pronounce the clicks in the ari language. The clicks were, of course, inspired by real language such as Hausa, which famously features the click song by Miriam Makeba. We call it the click song because we cannot say Kong Kung Twane. And in any case, my fictive click language ari intentionally has nothing in common with Hausa except the clicks. And in the case of ari, there are 5 we know of so far. The first I write is the cross, and that is the na, sort of like a T. Only, actually to me it sounds like a whip crack. The second one is I still sometimes have trouble with that one, but it is more or less analogous to the in Hausa, the X. I write that one at the double cross. And formally this one is written either as the Q, as in Kong Kung Twane, otherwise it's the exclamation point at the beginning of Kung. But nonetheless, my spell checker has a great problem with exclamation points, and I already use Q for Ga. And therefore the pound sign, the hekya, the number sign, became the na. On the other hand, there is a retropulse click. And the analogy is between the sounds of K and Q, in my case between Ka and Ga. And thus the analogy is between the click sound of Ga and the click sound of Ga. And I write that with the ampersand. Hoi, buurvrouw.
Hallo. Kom schatje, doorlopen.
My neighbor is walking by, and I'm making a film for my fellow conlayers. And now we come to the most difficult click, and that this one exists only in the ari. It is the underwater click, and I call it that because I don't know any other way to describe koom, 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 koom.
Hoi.
Hoi. Waar ik maak een filmpje voor sommige mijn vrienden van de VS.
Ja goed, leuk.
Oké, en dat is vanavond.
Ja, even.
And if this does not illustrate bilingualism, I think nothing really will. In any case, the underwater click is boom, 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 boom. And I find it difficult to make, and that is why it exists only in this weird click language. This language is even weird from other click languages because no other click language even bothers to have boom, 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 boom. And as for actual words in the language, I only have a few. Most of them are, in fact, they're all onomatopoetic. They're all words based on the way they sound. And so a frog or a cricket, united by the way it sounds they make, are hoi, 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 hoi. And the only way to tell the difference is in context. If we're talking about water, obviously a hoi, 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 hoi is a frog. If they're flying, obviously, it means the other thing, crickets, locusts, a plague of. Another word is the name for the dinosaur, that's the Pumbaa. Specifically, the Diplodocus, it imitates the deep sound the foot makes when it comes onto the ground. And incidentally, there's a Welsh song called Dakum Haryai, which features the refrain of Tu Rindi Ro Rindi Rada Middelang. And I actually translated that into ari simply by turning it into koom, 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 koom. And it literally means the same thing as tu rindi ro rindi rada. In other words, it means absolutely nothing. It's only a refrain soldiers sing before they go to war. And finally, as for character names, I don't necessarily yet know what these mean. The young child soldier who we will get to know one of these days in the book is called Han Konko. I crossed the name Anthony with the click song, thus Han Konko. And the chief of the child soldiers is a very despicable man. If you know of Liberian dictator Charles Taylor in real life, you'll understand what I mean. What I did was I took the Arabic word for blessing or virtuous quality, bakarat, and I wrote it backwards, and then I transformed the K into a ka, and therefore the chief is called Takorab. And I wrote the Arabic word backwards to mean he is exactly the opposite of a blessing. He is like Genghis Khan. And that is your lesson on mixed languages. And I'd like to conclude in the Dewan language, which have much better created. I have 4 so-called weird letters. The dark T is da in place than ta. The hard H is cha in place than ha. The Q is ba in place than ka. And finally, the funny-looking X is like HS in place than SH. It's not sh, it's sh. Good evening.